Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Sultanate achieves a qualitative shift in air and seaports project as government plans continue to develop some seaports. More than 115,000 male and female citizens are employed in the private sector until the end of May at an annual increase by 10%. And the death toll in Gaza reached over 740 as Israel continues its military aggression on the Strip. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of condolences to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Abdullah bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on the death of Her Royal Highness Princess Jawahar bint Nasser bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud. His Majesty the Sultan sends a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Dr. Mohammed Al Munsif Al Marzouqi of Tunisia on the Republic Day anniversary. Transport and communication sector has been accorded great attention by the government due to its significance in serving social life and national economy. The Ministry of Transport and Communication has sought through studied plans to expand the main and services road network and establish and develop ports and airports in the successive 5-year development plans. His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Ftaisi, Minister of Transport and Communications, said that transport projects in the Sultanate has witnessed rapid strides as to make the Sultanate an international logistics center. The establishment of new projects such as Muscat and Salalah international airports, which came in parallel with other internal airports, represented a big leap in the field of air transport. The Sultanate aims through these projects to promote the Sultanate as a global tourism destination and activate commercial and industrial exchange. On the other hand, the port sector redefined the ancient maritime history of the Sultanate through the construction of special and strategic ports such as Sohar Industrial Port, Duqm Port and Salalah Port, in addition to transferring Port Sultan Qaboos to a touristic port through a package of touristic projects such as hotels, restaurants and other facilities. The road network links governorates, wilayas and villages of the Sultanate. It also supports social, economic and touristic development projects in the Sultanate. The distance of implemented road in the Sultanate by the end of December 2013 amounted to 13,209 kilometers all over the Sultanate, in addition to developing some roads and establishing modern flyovers as per international standards to connect all governorates of the Sultanate with industrial estates, ports, airports and other new projects. Communication on sector also witnessed a great development through a number of projects and initiatives and involving international competitive companies to promote modern integrated communication on network that keep pace with latest rapid global developments in this field. Several achievements were realized in the field of human resources development and providing job opportunities in the private sector for national manpower, with great attention to enable this sector to implement its development projects. The number of national manpower increased from 55,500 male and female citizens in 2000 to more than 215,000 citizens by the end of last May, with an annual growth rate of around 10%. This growth came as a result of the Sultanate's completion of 3-part system for production parties through establishing the General Trade Union of the Sultanate in 2010. His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser Al Bakri, Minister of Manpower, said that the ministry is working to develop many employment programs and the ministry's policies, plans and laws to keep pace with developments in the labor market in the upcoming period. The Blessed Renaissance decades witnessed the utilization Division of Human Resources. In addition to natural resources, 7 colleges of technology and 8 training centers and institutes were established. More than 45,000 male and female students graduated from these institutions in various technical specifications. The ministry also conducted various training programs to qualify non-skilled job seekers to enter the labor market. Continuous development for labor laws and regulations were also accompanied by great efforts to provide the ministry's services through the electronic gate without the need to visit the ministry's directorates general. Insurance systems provided social insurance services in a way that strengthened partnership among the 3 parties of production, laborer, work owner and the government through an efficient and interactive institutional performance in order to be in line with social, economic and technological developments in the society. Public Authority for Social Insurance started to apply amendments of some provisions of social insurance law which came in the Royal Decree number 61/2013, which concerned with providing of safe umbrella for beneficiaries or provisions of these changes. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. The general channel of the Sultanate of Oman television has recorded more than 6 million views on YouTube. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The death toll in Gaza reached over 740 today as Israeli tank fire and pre-dawn assaults killed 31 people in the Hamas-dominated coastal enclave, including an 18-month-old baby and 6 members of the same family. Israel has lost at least 32 soldiers in clashes inside Gaza and with Hamas fighters who have slipped across the fortified frontier in tunnels. Palestinians in the southern Khuza and Abbasan villages in Khan Yunis said Israeli shelling left dead and wounded under rubble, while medical crews could not risk approaching the scene. Residents of the 2 southern villages were trapped by days of tank shelling, with medics unable to evacuate wounded. And United Nations agency said more than 140,000 people had been displaced. Hamas fired rockets at Tel Aviv and its gunmen carried out a lethal ambush on Israeli soldiers in North Gaza. An Air Algeria flight crashed today en route from Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso to Algiers with 116 passengers on board. An Algerian aviation official said there were few clear indications of what might have happened to the aircraft or whether there were casualties. But Burkina Faso Transport Minister said it asked to change route at 0138 GMT because of a storm in the area. Almost half of the passengers were French citizens. 2 French fighter jets based in the region have been dispatched to try to locate the airliner along its probable route. United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon arrived in Baghdad today for talks with Iraqi leaders on the ongoing fighting in Iraq and formation of a new Iraqi government. After meeting with Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki earlier in the day, Ban called on Iraqi politicians to unite and create a government that serves all sects in order to take on what he called an existential threat from the insurgency. The governorate of the Far is preparing to receive its visitors to enjoy Kharif weather and various events topped by Salalah Tourism Festival. It is expected that great number of tourists from the Sultanate and the Gulf Cooperation Council countries will flock to the governorate during Eid al-Fitr leave. The governorate of the Far during the months of July and August enjoys very nice weather. Weather temperature take a downswing and rain and drizzle fall on the mountains, plateaus and plains, which cause the spreading of green cover and add an exceptional beauty to the area. Water springs, fountains and waterfalls, besides archaeological and heritage sites, are considered attractions for the tourists to visit and spend nice time with their families. Tour of Oman is an application of GSM will be launched by National Center for Statistics and Information, will provide touristic and geographical information for tourists. That was explained by His Excellency Dr. Khalifa bin Abdullah Al-Marwani, Executive President of National Center for Statistics and Information, in an interview with the Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television. Through this application, will be able to receive information about any place, either hotel, services and car rental, by a button touch. The general channel of the Sultanate of Oman Television has recorded more than 6 million views on YouTube in the period from February 2013 until July this year. The total viewed amounted to more than 25 million minutes. During this period, more than 4,000 items were loaded on YouTube site, and the Sultanate came top in percentage of viewers of the Sultanate of Oman Television by 83%, followed by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia by 4.4%, and United Arab Emirates came in the third place by 4%. The rest of the viewing was divided by more than 190 countries worldwide. And here are the Ramadan times for tomorrow. Fajr prayers will be at 4:10 a.m. and Maghrib prayers at 6:58 p.m. And now for the general weather forecast. Cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of the Far and nearby mountains, with chances of intermittent drizzle. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of scattered rain over the Hajar Mountains and nearby areas. Winds will be southerly to southwesterly, moderate to active along the coast of Arabian Sea, while it will be northwesterly light to moderate in the rest of the Sultanate. Seas along the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea will be rough with the maximum wave height of 4.5 meters. Along the rest of the coast, it will be moderate with the maximum wave height of 2 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Sultanate achieves a qualitative shift in air and seaports projects as government plans continue to develop some seaports. More than 115,000 male and female citizens are employed in the private sector until the end of May at an annual increase by 10%. And the death toll in Gaza reached over 740 as Israel continues its military aggression on the Strip. With that, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night and Ramadan Mubarak.